Namaste guys, Rajesh here. So last month you released its first high-end Android flagship smartphone, the Utopia. Or for that matter, the handset is the first high-end flagship smartphone from any Indian OEM. Bearing its price, the Utopia competes directly with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S6, Galaxy Note 5 and the iPhone 6s. So how good is the phone? Does it live up to its tagline of the most powerful smartphone ever? Let's find out in our review. The Utopia is made from aircraft-grade aluminium that gives it a very premium look and feel. The build quality of the handset is among its key highlights and strengths and is right there at the top with the likes of the Galaxy S6 and the iPhone 6s series. The huge camera hump at the rear is definitely noticeable and does look like a design oddity, but in my opinion, it does give the rear of the Utopia a unique look. If anything, the only issue I have with the Utopia in terms of build quality is the placement of the power button, which has been matched between the volume buttons. While unique, I don't particularly like this placement and would have preferred if you did not place the power button between the volume buttons. I also like the rear placement of the touch-based fingerprint scanner since I find it more ergonomic friendly compared to the scanner being located at the front. The front of the Utopia houses a 5.2-inch Quad HD IPS display from Sharp. This is a one-glass solution, which means that the display is laminated to Corning's Gorilla Contour glass. This makes the display look more attractive, reduces reflectivity, and gives a fake impression of icons and other UI elements actually floating on the glass itself. In terms of brightness, the display is sufficiently bright, which makes it possible to use it even in direct sunlight. Thanks to the one glass solution, the viewing angles are also pretty decent, and so are the contrast levels. Disappointingly, the Utopia's display suffers from ghosting issues, which is rather surprising for a handset released towards the late end of 2015. My unit also had issues with touch, and sometimes I had to tap on the screen multiple times for the phone to detect a touch. Out of the box, the Utopia runs on CyanogenOS 12.1, which is based on Android 5.1 Lollipop. The CyanogenOS comes with a number of customization options and handy features like a theme engine and app themer. However, CyanogenOS is extremely buggy on the Utopia and is the weakest point of the handset if you ask me. During my testing, I came across numerous bugs that affect the day-to-day usability of the handset. For example, using the flashlight gesture leads to the phone being completely non-responsive. Another issue that I encountered was the navigation and the system bar not coming up despite me repeatedly trying to bring them up while in games like Asphalt 8 and Badland 2. The overall system performance of the Utopia is also not up to the mark despite the handset coming with a Snapdragon 810 chipset and 4GB of RAM. I noticed dropped frames while scrolling through lists, jittery system animations, and more. This is likely an optimization issue from CyanogenOS team, since in heavy games and resource-intensive applications, the Utopia performs just as a phone with a Snapdragon 810 chipset inside it would. Now, while under heavy load, the phone did get a bit warm, but the heating issues were not severe enough to cause any problems. In the end, I feel that CyanogenOS on the Utopia is half-baked and is simply not ready for consumer devices. I can't help but feel that the Utopia should have launched with Marshmallow on board. Besides fixing a bunch of bugs that were present in Lollipop, Marshmallow also improves the core user experience of Android, which would have ideally suited the Utopia. It would have also made it possible to use the fingerprint scanner on the Utopia in other apps like LastPass and Telegram. The Utopia is powered by a 3000 mAh battery, which for a phone with a Snapdragon 810 chipset and a 5.2-inch Quad HD display is on the lower side. During my testing, the Utopia managed to provide 3 hours of screen on time over a period of 10 to 12 hours. This was with one SIM and the phone primarily being used on Wi-Fi. In my opinion, this is a tad on the lower side, but thanks to the presence of Quick Charge 2.0, you can top up the Utopia's battery in minutes. With this top charger, I was able to charge the Utopia from 0 to 70% in just an hour. So in the end, will I recommend the Utopia to anyone with a budget of Rs 25,000? Sadly no. On paper, the Utopia is an absolutely stellar handset and its build quality is absolutely top notch, but its software is its major weakness. Until unless the Cyanogen and U team fixes this issue, the Utopia is a no deal for me. So guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching our review of the Utopia. Do hit the like button below if you liked it and subscribe to our channel if you have not already done so.